Welcome back to the Basic Bee podcast. I'm joining you for a very special Basics with Bee episode, and I'm going completely off script. Normally, when I record these solo episodes, have at least some kind of an idea of where I want to go. I've usually jotted out a bullet point list of things that I want to make sure I talk about, but I'm being very transparent and I'm just coming in because I want to spend some time reflecting on the last year because it was a crazy wild ride. It was at times really joyous, very amazing. At times it was the lowest I've ever felt. So yeah, I don't know exactly what to expect here. I don't know what to prep you for. I don't know what to prep myself for. But this will be another little episode, just me and you. And I guess I will just get into it. So immediately when I'm thinking about 2024, I mentioned losses. I had a lot of loss in my life in 2024. Shedding of some identities, some loss of modalities, ways that I used to help people, loss of actual people in my life, loss of pets in my life, a loss of money. So there have been some down things in my year. And I have a feeling that many of you listening are going to be like, what? I had no idea, because I do this thing where I want me and what I share and how you interact with me, I want it to be positive. I want it to be uplifting. And so I don't share all that often when the not good things are happening. And I'm still honestly trying to figure out what that balance looks like for me of I'm going to be living my life. I'm going to be in the moment. I'm going to be giving myself the space to go through whatever I need to go through and bring you along for the ride. And I don't know if you've ever heard this phrase before, but there's a line that goes something along the lines of share from the scar, not the wound. And all it really means is just giving yourself that time and space to go through whatever you're going through and then sharing after the fact. And I usually feel better doing that, actually going through the stuff, the events, the whatever, and then reflecting on it later on. But I think the part where I have a little bit of resistance or hesitancy is that I don't want to come across as disingenuous. I want people to feel, warm and welcome and like I am an open book, and I am. If anybody has any questions, I always answer. If I don't know the answer, I don't answer it. If I know a friend who does something better than I do, I send them to that person, to that business. So, all of that stuff is very true, very me. But yeah, I'm just having a little bit of, I don't know, I'm thinking through how I want to handle that in the future. But at least for now, I can say that I didn't really share much stuff as it was going on in the present moment. Like I mentioned, I had people, I had family members, I had just really close family friends that left this earth this year. And that was really challenging. And something that I was reflecting on just the other day is that what was really wild and very interesting is that I think I shared this post on Threads, but with every loss, or darn near every loss, I was creating something, I was getting ready to launch something, someone would pass away, and then I already had this launch window set up, and I was still very excited to create the thing and to share the thing. But I was in this very weird energy of really happy, but really sad, really joyous, but very much in grieving mode. So I was making sure to give myself the space to do that, like I mentioned, but I wasn't front facing with all of that. And I think in my world, for me, that gets to be okay. And if I choose to handle something differently in the future, then that gets to be okay too. It's just been a wild, wild year. I would say probably the hardest loss that I faced was that my dog Jack died. And yes, he was 17 and a half years old. And yes, oh my gosh, it's so amazing that he got to be a senior dog. But you never think that day's going to come. And then that day comes. And I'm not the only one. I had so many friends lose cats, lose dogs, lose horses. And these beings are so special. And I think why it hurts so much is that they just see us for who we are and they don't judge us for anything and they're just there. And yeah, so it really hurts when they go. So I don't want to end up crying, or at least not too much on this episode, but that was really tough. Really, really, really tough. And a lot of sudden losses of people and animals, like I mentioned. That part's been really tough. But on the flip side, I had my highest income month ever in being an entrepreneur for the last 11 years. I mean, that's bonkers. That felt really good. But then I also had months that were like so low. You know, how low can you go kind of months where it's like checking my bank account as we're walking into the grocery store. So, you know, that was also a very interesting split between, again, the highs and the lows. I gained a lot of clarity. I gained a lot of confidence. I can hear myself speaking differently from the beginning of the year to now, even with what I was just sharing a minute ago of it's okay that I get to choose how I'm handling something now and how I'm handling something in the future. And every day it feels like I'm stepping more and more and more into my own, into a deeper, more authentic version of myself. And I love that. I've gained clarity. I have an offer suite that I'm really proud of. I have some offers in the works that I'm really excited for. I have a new niche that I'm now speaking to. And this won't go anywhere. It's just like my messaging is going to be much more focused on this group of business owners. So I'm speaking much more to spiritual entrepreneurs because I realize that I really enjoy working with that group of people. I love the work that they're doing, and it makes me feel so lit up and so tied to the why of why I became a business owner in the first place. And that's to help people and to help people discover new modalities, discover new people, especially with something like health stuff, right? So I've had migraines since I was 7. I'm 33 at the time of this recording. And I didn't know how to stop having migraines. The modalities that I've worked with, the people that I've worked with this year, I've had so many fewer migraines this year, and that's been amazing because I haven't had to take days off. I haven't had to push out too many podcasts, to this at least in the blog post, but I've worked with Ray and we've done like the energy healing. I've worked with Jen and we've done the spinal energetic sessions and the tarot readings. I've worked with my friend Elizabeth and she's an herbalist. And so, you know, I've gotten different teas and tinctures from her. And my friend Vika, like I've worked with her for some astrology readings. And so, and my friend Alexandra, I could keep going, you guys. There's so many people I've worked with and it's just been so helpful and so powerful. And I'm so grateful for where I am right now and that I have had this evolution over the last year, even though there were those really painful, really sad, really hard to get through moments this year. I'm really grateful for all of the good things and the bad things. And I am pausing even saying that because I'm like, as much as it hurts that all the negative things happened, all of the losses happened, I know that that's part of the journey. I know that that's part of life. I know that that's part of just the cycles of things, but it still hurts in the moment. But I'm grateful that I got to know all those people. I'm grateful that those animals were in my life. I'm grateful for every memory, every experience. And so I'm going to hold on to those and treasure those. And when I get sad, I'm going to remember the happy things too. Okay, back to the positive because I don't want to go out on a on a sad note. I want to go out on the positive note. I had some really cool collaborations. One of the first ones that pops to mind for me is the collaboration I did with Coley James. We were just like a fire was lit under our tush, and we recorded her podcast episode with me on my episode on her podcast. I cranked out the copy for the case study of me being her client, and then she cranked out the actual webpage design and everything. We got that done so fast because we were so excited. And I'm still excited. And that was one of my favorite collaborations from this year. It was definitely that. But I've gotten to be, you know, a guest speaker. I've gotten to do guest teaching, which I absolutely love. And I will never stop doing, at least not right now. I don't plan to stop doing that. I got to be a guest on podcasts. I got to be all of these things where I got to showcase other people. And then I got to be showcased and I got to introduce people to SEO. That made me so happy. That just lights me up because SEO doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be costly. It doesn't have to be confusing. It can be simple. It can be approachable. It can be fun. And I am planting my flag on that hill because it just makes me so happy. What other happy things can I tell you about? Oh, my relationships totally improved. Friendships, family, boyfriend, like my relationships all around definitely improved. My relationship to myself, my relationship to money, all of that improved. I'm so happy, so grateful, so thankful that you've been on this ride with me. I can't believe that I have now done a solo podcast for all of 2024. It's been an absolute blast. I'm going to be back in 2025 with even more. I have so many conversations already recorded, already ready to be released and get out to you. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what this year holds for us. I am super thrilled, so grateful, and I hope you know that. So with that, here's what I'm going to be focusing on in 2025 in and for my business. And this isn't an exhaustive list, but this is a lot of what I'm focusing on. Number one is I'm getting strategic with my marketing. I've still been doing a little bit of throwing spaghetti at the wall, and I want to use the tools I have and the platforms I'm on to the mostest, while also being mindful of my energy and my capacity. So I'm actually mapping everything out this week, which means that I don't have the specifics to share with you just yet, but the idea is there, and I'm sure I'll be sharing about that as we move into 2025. I'm also going to be getting more ruthless with my time. That's for things that are personal as well as professional. This is something I've definitely struggled with, but I've got my handy dandy planner and I have a new perspective on batching and time management. And I'm just really excited to continue to implement those because I've done that a little bit so far toward the end of 2024, but that's going to be even better and even more strategic as we go into the new year. I will also make sure I link my very favorite planner ever on planet Earth. I'll make sure I have that linked for you below. Thing number 3 is that I'm going to be putting myself in the right rooms. I'm changing who I'm speaking to and marketing to and who I'm calling in. So that is going to be a big deal for me to make sure that I'm in those right spaces because, hello, I'm Brittany Herzberg, the SEO strategist and copywriter for spiritual entrepreneurs. I'm going to be supporting people with a lot of the same things: blog optimization, website SEO optimization, and podcast SEO. And stay tuned for that as well, because I'm sure I'm going to be sharing more about what that will look like, the different offers, the different structures of things throughout the new year. And lastly, kind of related to marketing, but a specific thing, is that I'm going to be creating additional blog posts. I already create blogs from every single podcast episode, and I wanted to give myself time to get used to that workflow because it can be a lot, but I've got it so streamlined now that it takes me no time at all to create that podcast episode to blog post. Now I want to publish one extra blog per month where I'm answering questions I know for a fact that people are Googling. And I'm starting out by mapping 12 blog posts that I can write and publish throughout 2025. Want to join me? I'm kicking off the new year with a blogging workshop specifically for business owners. It's a 2-part workshop called Shine with SEO that also includes my blogging email course. And here's the breakdown. Call number 1 is going to be on January 10th. You're going to be walking away with 12 blog post topics. They're specific to you. So at the very least, you're not left wondering, what should I be writing about? And you can share at least 1 blog post per month throughout the year, which is completely enough. Call number 2 is going to be on January 20th. And it's going to be a co-working session style situation with built-in Q&A time. So, some people will be writing the blog posts, some will be optimizing, some will be publishing those first blog posts of 2025. And the email course comes in between. So between call 1 and call 2 is when you're going to get the email course, and it's going to walk you through everything you need to know to do and to optimize your blog posts for SEO. And of course, it's me. It's packed with all of the templates and resources that you need to actually bring these blog ideas to life. You'll find the link for everything. You can sign up below. You can also go to brittanyherzberg.com, and I've got the workshop linked at the top. And once you go to the page, you'll also see a couple of extra support options that you can add on. And if anything that I shared resonated, please, I would love to hear from you. I'm always, always in my Instagram DM. So don't be a stranger. Come say hi. Let me know if there's something specific you want to hear about, something that really stood out to you from this last year. Even if you didn't listen to all the episodes, let me know if there was one that you listened to that just absolutely captured your attention. And I cannot wait to be with you again in 2025. I'll talk with you soon, friend. Hold up. Why are we talking about blogs coming back? They never went anywhere. Now that we've got that cleared up, a strategy that all business owners need to be implementing with their blogs is, no surprise to anyone, SEO, because blogs that are optimized for SEO bring in that warm to hot traffic to your site, build your authority in a sustainable way, and increase conversions much more easily. Where I see entrepreneurs getting tripped up when they even hear the word blog is that they don't know what to post, don't know how frequently to post, and don't know how long the blog posts should even be. So I'm clearing all of that up with my 2-part blogging workshop for business owners in January. It even includes my darn near world famous blogging email course. Check out the deets and take a peek at the additional support options at the link below.